Hi.
Hello, my name's Peter Cox and I'm one of the curators for the 80s Are Back exhibition, and we've spent quite a bit of time getting this exhibition together, and we're just thrilled that it's actually here now and there are members of the public in the gallery. That's the most gratifying thing of all, when the public start rolling in and you see the kind of look of recognition on their faces and you hear them talking to each other and saying, I used to have one of them, or I went and saw that band. That's the big payoff for me. And to see people in the gallery reminds me of actually how this whole idea began. Last year, 2008, when I was looking around the Powerhouse Museum at people who come here with their children, teenage children especially, and you know, it's pretty obvious these days that those people are not baby boomers. They are the next generation. They are the ones that get labelled Generation X. They're the people who had their formative years in the 1980s, people born from, say, the mid-60s on through the 70s. We wanted to do an exhibition that acknowledged the culture of their youth. You know, in the past we've done exhibitions that look at popular culture more from a baby boomer standpoint, but this time we wanted to do something for that next generation. So this is all about the 80s through the eyes of young people. It's about the TV shows they watched, the movies they went and saw, the bands they liked, the records they bought, the venues they went to and the dance parties they attended. It's about the clothes they wore and the toys they played with. And it's also about what was going on in the world around them, because when you're young you soak up all the events that are happening nationally and internationally, and it becomes part of who you are. People forge their identity in that teenage and early 20s period and cling, I think, to the culture of that period, especially the music. The music of your youth is something that stays with you all your life. So that kind of Generation X was our primary target. But we also noticed, you know, a real revival of interest lately among 80s fashion and style with a younger group of people. And you look around and you see people out on the street who might be aged 20 or younger, and they're obviously wearing styles that have an 80s reference. Now, whether they understand they're referencing the 80s or not in their clothes, I don't know. But it's there, and it's really apparent in the music of today. If you look at the bands who are on the top of the heap today, these are people who were brought up, had their formative years in the 1980s, and they are retaining a love of the sounds of their youth. It's apparent in the sounds they're making today. So that's why the exhibition ends with the 80s revival, the section we call the Neo-80s. And ending it that way kind of brings it around full circle, brings it around to the present. But before you get to the end of the exhibition, there's a wealth of material here to bring back memories of what was happening in the 80s. I really love looking around the gallery and seeing the colour and the light that the exhibition designers have given to accommodate all these wacky objects that they have to house. There is actually 900 objects in this show, and yet somehow the exhibition designers have made them look great. There's a real buzz in this space, and it's a really inviting and exciting exhibition space to be in. There's so much stuff about music, there's so much stuff about partying. The AIDS crisis, which reminds us that, you know, the 80s wasn't one big party for everybody. Not everyone, you know, used to go to nightclubs and take cocaine, you know. For some people it was just life as usual. For others, life was tough, you know. There was a recession in the early 80s. There was really high interest rates in the late 80s. There was youth unemployment. So we want to be inclusive and accommodate and recognise the experience of all sorts of people who lived in Australia in the 80s. I hope they enjoy it. I hope they come back, I hope they tell their friends, and I hope that you know, this exhibition is something that people will be enriched by and you know, remember for a long time to come. So the 80s are back.